Hello everyone, how's it going today? Today we're painting a portrait. Before we even start anything, I just wanted to say I tried to record a video last time. It was a still life painting and I didn't record it. I just didn't record it because I forgot to hit the record button and I finished the painting and I noticed it wasn't recorded. So sorry about that, even though you guys don't know about it. And this particular painting, I chose this reference because this is something I don't usually do most often. My characters usually tend to be females or younger males, and older males are something that are very useful to paint and draw and learn from, is because their shapes and their skin are much more defined, and especially with wrinkles and the forms of the shape, it's much harder to paint them and much harder to get the colors right because they have a lot of discoloration in the skin also. And this is why I chose this painting. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with it because it was something that I hadn't done previously, and I tried to find a particular style and rhythm when I painted this painting. And one thing you'll see me do a lot, especially just with the face in general, is adding shapes, refining them with the erase tool, adding shapes, refining them with the erase tool. And I do that same 1, 2, 3 step I told in my previous video, which was add the base colors, shadows, then highlights. And this one you'll see me adding a lot more shadows than highlights because, as you can see in the image reference, there's not many highlights. And this is also another thing you'll see me doing a lot, which is going into grayscale, which is checking the values. And why I do this is because you want to keep your values subtle and even, and of course close to reference for this particular painting. And one rule of thumb in general for values is think of them as a spectrum from white to black, and you don't want your values to be on the polar ends, either too white or too black. This applies for any particular art, photograph, videos, anything. And this helps the eyes acclimate to the image more, understand the image more, see more details better. And you'll see me shying away from dark blacks a lot in this painting, especially with the shadows behind the hair and stuff like that. And one thing that happens here, guys, is where the video just kind of cuts in and out every now and then. That is because while I saved the Photoshop document, for some reason the recording software started lagging, and I couldn't notice this, of course, because I was painting and this was on a different screen. And once I finished the painting and I was in Premiere recording this, I noticed that there were a lot of skips and it was just lost footage. I couldn't go back and check the original footage because it was just recorded that way. It's just a few more seconds, or 5 to 10 more seconds. It loses a lot of detail that I want to show, especially the eye and this neck skin, but it's not too much of a big deal because of course we'll see more of these in the future. And there's no more pauses after we had in the hair color that is over here. It loses about 5 to 6 minutes of footage, and so as you can see, the bottom has a timer now which tracks the original length it took me to paint this particular painting, and it didn't account for the skip, which means there's about 6 minutes missing from the timer itself too. And one thing you'll see me doing a lot here is pick different weird colors like purple and blue and even shades of dark brown for the face. And that is because, especially with the purples and the blues, that is because light reflects, as we know. And this particular image, most of the light is coming from the front of the face and towards the camera, like it's from above the camera. And most of this is on a higher height too, it's much higher than his face. And what this does is it'll reflect most of the light that's hitting any object and reflect it back to any object that's casting a shadow on it. And this will be prevalent with the coat because this coat is blue color, and light blue usually tends to catch a lot of light and reflect it back. And cloth, even though is good for stopping the reflection of light, will still reflect the ambience of it, that is the color hue of it. And so since his coat is blue, it reflects a lot of blue onto his under chin, his jawline, and under his nose, and even his ears, if you can see it well. But that's why we add a lot of blue and purple onto the under of his chin, nose, and jawline. And with the hair, I tried not to add too many details because I love painting hair, and I'll sit there and paint each strand of hair for days together. But with our image, we have a few elements, that is the face, the hair, the shirt, the tie, and the coat. And I wanted all of their styles and details to be same or equal to each other, because otherwise the image would look off-putting, especially if the hair was too detailed and the face wasn't. It would look like it's so big sitting on the head. And since this man doesn't particularly have any hair strands that are like branching in from the skin, especially like near the temples or near the top of his head, it already looks like a wig, so I didn't want to make it further look like a wig. And one thing that I try to avoid with the clothing, especially with the tie and the coat, was again add those textures of the cloth. It would be very difficult to do that, of course, but I would have added it in the end and made them look more like a realistic coat. But I didn't want to add that because I felt like it wasn't true to the style that I was going for. And most of what I'm doing right now is refining shapes, refining colors once I'm finishing with the tie, that is. And you'll see me also leaving the strokes as they are in the face. That is because I didn't want to blend the colors too much. This is something people do a lot when they paint skin, that is keep blending the colors over and over again. And of course that's good for skin if it's realistic, but for my style I felt like where it is just perfect. And I also tend to add a lot of details in the face previously, which I've removed now, especially near the forehead area. Even the highlights, when I first placed them, they were too bright, and I reduced them down a bit. And for the mustache, as you could see, we had placed a shadow first on the lips, upper lips, and now we go in and just add in the mustache and the shadows and the highlights. And that was mostly about it for this particular painting, guys. And I really enjoyed this painting, and I'll keep doing more of these, and I love this style. This was something that kept me at ease, and I could just keep painting it without any particular difficulty or strain. And I felt like this is what I'm going to be doing more of from now on, and I want to record more videos of it too. Thanks for watching this particular video, guys. I hope you liked it, and I hope you enjoyed more of these paintings. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll catch you guys up again next time. Until then, bye bye.